Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry that I look like crap. I have no makeup on whatsoever. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. I just woke up. So today is going to be a story about a fuckboy. And I've had a lot of fuckboys in my life, but this one actually just kind of, if you hear the story, it just really pisses me off. So I was dating this guy, and we'll call him Jeff. And so I was dating Jeff, and how I met him was at a country bar. So I went with my friends, and we were all hanging out. And then, I met him and his friends, and we were just talking, whatever. And I didn't think this dude was into me because I was there to just hang out with my friends. So I was there with Alyssa, which I was trying to figure out if I wanted to say other names. I was with Alyssa, and I was with my two guy friends. And so we go, and I'm so sorry, I just woke up. So then we go, and we always go to this country bar. We love it. We love to line dance. The drinks are cheap. It's great. So we go there, and we see this dude, and we just start talking, and don't remember what we were talking about, but we were talking. And then Alyssa and I left to go to the bathroom, and so the boys were there just talking. And so when we went, I messaged one of my guy friends. I was like, hey, be my wingman. I like this guy, he's cute. Not I like this guy, but because I just met him, but I was like, oh, he's cute. Let's try to see if this will be something. And so we go, and they're doing that, and we're like, oh, we're gonna go line dance. So we did, and so Jeff comes up, and we're waiting for line dances and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh, do you know how to line dance? And he's like, oh, I know a couple. Okay. So then we started talking, and then Jeff goes up to my two guy friends and was just like, oh, so that's Gianna, right? And he was like, yeah, that is Gianna. And he was like, okay, I'm not really good with names, so tell me your guys's again. But he remembered mine. And so they were like, hey, he remembered your name. He didn't remember the others. He just remembered yours. I was like, oh, that's really sweet. So then, by the end of the night, we were just, hanging out. And, he was hanging out with me. I was hanging out with him and his friends. He was hanging out with me and my friends. I was teaching him how to line dance and all this stuff. And then, so it got to a point that, we exchanged numbers. God. We exchanged numbers, and then we were talking. So we started talking and exclusively dating. I want to say 2 weeks after we met each other, which yeah, it's a little quick, but it just seems that was the type of person he is. It seemed like he was a relationship type guy. And so I was like, okay, we're fine, we're chilling. And so we the only place that we could hang out, or the only place that we would hang out was that country bar. The reason is because he had school, I had school, he was busy with work, and I was busy moving places. And so I was in the process of packing up my stuff, hanging out with Alyssa, hanging out with Ravina, saying bye to my roommates, packing up everything, and then trying to find a place and all this stuff within a deadline. And so I was supposed to move out of my old place I want to say like the beginning of September. The beginning of September, I was supposed to move out. So, we started talking like mid-August. And so, like, we were like exclusively dating, all this stuff, and everybody knew. Like, all his friends knew, all my friends knew. It was just like we were dating, but he never made it like official. He tried to make it official, which I shut that down real quick. The reason is it was like 3 weeks within us dating or like talking, and then he was like, I need coffee. He was then like, I want you to be my girlfriend. And I was like, you haven't even taken me out on a date first. Like, I'm not gonna become your girlfriend until like we actually go do something besides going to a country bar with all our friends. Like, we haven't hung out just by ourselves. Like, I don't know how you are by yourselves. Like, I'm always with somebody else. Like, I need to experience that first. And that's when I realized that I fucked up. Because after that, after, like, we were dating for, like, 3 months, right? After that, like, literally nothing. Never brought it up. He didn't think I was probably into him, anything of that sort. It just got to a point that I was like, is anything gonna happen? Like, what the hell is going on? And during this relationship, I had some problems. As in, like, I couldn't control my anger. And I was having anger issues. And, like, I went and I got help for it and all the stuff. But it was a point in my life where I lost my best friend. Like, he refused to talk to me. So that was one thing that I was going through. Another thing I was going through was, like, I couldn't control my anger because the best friend that I used to talk to all the time, he was the one that I would talk to all the time and, like, rant and get out my anger and all this stuff and just talk about it all the time. And it was in a point of my life where I couldn't, for some reason, every single thing would set me off. And that's not like me at all. Like, I'm that person that it takes a lot. Like, I kid you not, a lot to set me off to a point where I'm gonna go off on you. Like, there isn't anything about that. And that's how I am. It's like, there's a lot to set me off. Like, if there's a little thing, it's like, okay, you know, okay, I won't brush it off. Like, it's fine. But, like, no. So, off topic. But, so, that happened. And, like, I understood that that was a problem for him. Because, I mean, it would be a problem for anyone. And I understand that. And that's fine. But the way that he handled it isn't okay. So, this is where the fuck boy comes in. So, I thought everything was fine with Jeff. Like, I thought everything was chill. So, it came to a night where him and I haven't talked, like, in days. And, like, if I wasn't the one who messaged him first, he wouldn't tell me anything. He wouldn't talk to me, he wouldn't message me, he wouldn't, like, nothing. And I was like, And, like, this is a key to, like, all the girls out there. If a guy wants to talk to you, he will find the time to talk to you. It takes 2 seconds to text you. If they don't want to talk to you, they're not going to. And that's where I was like, okay, he's ghosting me. He's definitely ghosting me. Like, if I wouldn't say anything, he's ghosting me. Like, this is bullshit. Like, be a man, grow up, and fucking tell me yourself. Like, no. So then that happens. And then the night that I was supposed to go to that country bar with Alyssa and another friend of mine, and we were supposed to go to a country bar. And I texted him and I was like, hey, I just wanted to let you know, like, I'm going to the country bar. The reason is because, like, Alyssa has the day off. And so I just finished my homework, so I'm going to go. And so he was like, okay, like, I thought you weren't going. I was like, yeah, but, like, plans changed. I'm going to go now. Like, I'm just letting you know, like, where I'm going to be at. why I did this, I honestly have no idea. Like, he was trying to ghost me, and I decided to tell him where I was going to be. Like, why my thought process was this, I have no idea. And I question it sometimes because I'm like, dude, like, really? Like, really? Like, think back on what you did. Like, you care more for others than they care for you. So, like, you really need to check yourself. And that's a thought that goes through my mind every single day. So then he messages me and he was like, oh, okay, like, oh, like, I don't know, like, have fun. And then, so, like, there was a dude that, like, one of my friends that, like, I would hang out with that, like, I could tell that, like, rubbed him the wrong way. Um, and so I told him that he was going to come with us because I wasn't going to hide it from him. Like, say if, like, his friends show up and then it's like, oh, Gianna was with him, like, I thought she was distancing herself, blah, blah, blah. I didn't want drama. So I was like, okay, I'll tell him. So then I message him and I'm like, hey, like, I need to tell you this. Like, he's going to come with us. Like, he has no one to go with. And I told him it was fine. Like, I'm not going to do that to a friend. Like, that's not going to happen. And so he was like, oh, like, thanks for letting me know. I might show up. And I was like, what do you mean you might show up? And he was like, oh, yeah, like, I wanted to surprise you that, like, I might go. And then I was like, well, like, are you going to go or are you not? And he's like, I don't know yet. Like, it really depends. And I was like, well, let me know if you are. And he's like, well, what if I wanted to surprise you? I was like, to be honest, I would get more upset by the fact that you're showing up instead of telling me. And he's like, why? And I was like, and then this is where I just kind of exploded, which I know I shouldn't have taken it the way that it was, but, like, it was my mistake. But, like, you shouldn't have handled it like that. So I was just like, well, I haven't talked to you. We haven't talked. Like, how do you expect me to feel? Like, if you just show up, I'm going to be confused. And then we would have had this conversation in person. And then you would have got pissed and you would have walked away. Like, I don't know how else to say it. And then he was just like, I was just talking to him and he thought I was nagging him. No, I was just talking to him. I was just explaining on, like, how I felt and all this stuff. Apparently, that's not allowed. So then he goes and starts talking about all this shit. And then he's like, you know what, Gianna? I was like, what? Like, it just got to a point I was like, I'm done with this argument. Like, can I just go out, have a nice time? Like, I'll see you there. Like, we'll talk about it later. Like, it's fine. You and I will talk in person. We'll be okay. Like, it's fine. And then he hits me with this. He's like, honestly, Gianna, I don't know if we can do this anymore. Like, I am tired of you nagging, like, all this shit. So he has the audacity to end things with me over text the night that I'm supposed to go out with my friends to a country bar. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, are you kidding me? And I was like, I'm not nagging you, like, whatsoever. Like, I'm just saying, like, this is how I feel. And he's like, we can't do this anymore. Like, I'm done. I'm done. And I'm just, like, over here crying because I wasted 3 months on this dude to have him break up with me over text. And not necessarily break up with me because we weren't officially together, but, like, end things. Like, are you kidding me? And then, so I call Alyssa, I start crying, and I'm like, I don't want to go out anymore. Like, I really, really don't want to go out. That's not happening. And she's like, no, we're going to get you pretty. You're going to go out. We're good. So then I call my guy friend. I start crying. He, like, heads over to my house, and he's, like, comforting me, and he's like, all right, get dressed. Look good. Like, we're going to have a great time. Like, you're fine. Everything's fine. You're fine. So, okay, fine. So, like, we go out, right? And we get in the line and we're, like, walking in. And I look to my right. Jeff is fucking there. Like, he told me he wasn't gonna go. And after breaking up with me and you know I was gonna fucking be there, you're gonna show up? Like, you gotta be kidding me. And it took everything in my being not to be like, I'm gonna hit him. I want to go talk to him. Like, fuck this. Like, no, I'm done. So then Alyssa was just like, no, we're not gonna give him that satisfaction. You're gonna ignore him. We're gonna get a drink. We're gonna like go line dance, do whatever the hell we're gonna do. Like, everything's fine. So then I see a bunch of Jeff's friends, and like I'm hugging them, all this stuff, and they come up to me and they're like, oh, like Jeff's outside, like let's go, all this stuff, and I was like, I'm not gonna go there. And they're like, why not? What's going on? And I was like, oh, like he broke up with me like 20 minutes before like we came here. And he was like, what? Like they were all like, they're all guys. So they were like, what? I was like, yeah. And I was like, I can literally show you the messages. Like, I was just telling him how I felt, and he thought I was nagging him, and then he ended things over text. Like, are you kidding me? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you're a fuck. Straight up, you're a fuck. And I was like, okay, whatever. So I was like, don't like, tell him that, like, I told you anything, like, anything like that. And they were like, okay, we'll just say that, like, we said hi to you, and, like, we tried to have you come outside, but you wouldn't. And just to see, like, what's going on. So they came back and told me what Jeff had to say about that. He said the reason why he ended things with me is because I didn't let him surprise me. Like, really? Really? That's gonna be your fucking answer on why you end things with someone? Like, it just baffles me. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, you're a fuck. You're straight up a fuck. And this is where the fuck boy came in. So straight up, he would go and like, cause they do like a mixture of hip hop and country on this specific day. And so we would go and he would straight up like just dance with girls in front of me. After you break up with me. Like, are you kidding me? Like, it just proves that you didn't give a shit about how I felt whatsoever. Like, none of my feelings were okay with you. Like, you just wanted to hurt me and be done with it. So I was like, you know what? Two can play this game. I was like, I was a petty bitch at this point, and I know I shouldn't have done it, but I did it anyway. So the guy that he did not like, which was my friend, I started dancing on him. And I really didn't give a shit because literally we would dance like that all the time. Like it didn't matter. He saved me from like creepers, like all the shit. It doesn't really matter. So I started dancing on him and I could tell it was pissing him off, which I was like, okay, that's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's peachy. And then he tries to start getting like multiple girls to fucking dance on him. And I literally was just losing my shit. And I was like, honestly, I want to leave. Like, I'm done. I can't be here. Like, this is something I can't see. This hurts. I'm not having this. So then, when that happened, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, really, it just proves that you don't care. Like, at all. You didn't give a shit about my feelings, like, whatsoever. And then, so I was like, you know what? Like, I want to go home. I want to go home. I want to go home. And one of Jeff's friends was talking with me and he was like, honestly, like, let's get you a hug guy. Let's have you dance on him, like, in front of Jeff. And let's see what happens. And I was like, don't you think, like, he's going to get mad at you for, like, hanging out with me? And he's like, honestly, I don't care. Like, I got closer with you than I did with him. Like, he's new to the group. And I was like, okay, like, that's fine. Like, sure, why not? So then we get this guy that, like, I was crushing on for the longest time at this country bar. And so adorable. But then I realized that he's a lot younger than me, and I was like, well, oh well. So I was like, okay, so I got him, and I started dancing with him, and I literally look in the corner of my eye. Jeff and all his friends are all staring at me and making me seem like I'm a fucking slut. Like, boy, you're doing the same exact shit. Like, don't even. Like, okay, yeah, maybe it hurts you because I'm doing the same exact shit that you're doing to me. Like, okay. And so, like, after that night, it just got to a point that, like, I couldn't take it. So I went to go say bye to a couple of my friends that were in his friend group. And Jeff was standing right there when we were leaving. And so I just wanted to, like, go up there and say bye. So, like, I went up there, tapped them, and I was like, hey, like, I just wanted to let you know that we're leaving. They're like, okay, like, love you, Gianna. Like, we'll let me know when you get home. I was like, yeah, of course. So then, like, we all leave. I give them a hug. And, like, as soon as I gave him a hug, like, Jeff is just staring at me. And I'm like, dude, seriously? Like, no, we're not having this. So then we leave. And, like, I'm pretty sure he brought a girl home, to be completely honest with you. Chances are, honestly, I don't want to know if he did or didn't. It just hurt. Like, it was not okay. And then I found out from my two friends that, like, I'm close with now, that he told his friend group that we only dated for 3 weeks when it was 3 months, and that I'm a crazy psychotic bitch, and that, like, there's a lot wrong with me. And he would just talk shit all the time. And I was like, dude, really? Like, honestly, like, I'm not over here talking shit on you. I'm not over here telling you, like, oh, you're a piece of shit all the time. Like, telling your friends, like, oh, this. No. You ended things. I got over it. Like, after hearing that shit, it kind of pissed me off. But I'm like, dude, I don't care. I don't care anymore. I really don't care. Like, I can see him at a bar. Like, I'll say hi to him. I'll be cordial. That's fine. I don't care. But the fact that he talks shit on me every single damn time that I am there, and he points. Like, obviously, I know you're talking about me if you're pointing at me and then talking shit. Like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, dude, you're like 24, 25? I don't fucking know, 23? One of those? Like, grow the fuck up. Like, I understand if, like, you're 21, 22, and it's like, you're still doing that shit. Well, you just got out of your teens. Like, okay, fine, whatever. But, like, you're in your mid-20s. Grow the fuck up. Like, not everything is about you. And then it proves what kind of fucking person you are when you're talking shit on someone that doesn't care. Like, okay, well, that was my fuckboy story. I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry if it was so long. I just kind of needed to give you guys, like, the background of what happened, or, like, how we met, and then kind of, like, how it just kind of turned into shit, like, instantly. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have any, like, fuckboy stories that you want to tell me, like, put them in the comments below. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I don't know what this is. Thumbs down. Let me know if there's anything you want me to change. If you actually want me to, like, do my face. Honestly, like, most of the time I don't. But let me know what you want, and I will, chances are, give it to you. So I hope you like this video, and I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. All right, bye, guys.